This strategy that I'm going to give you today is a mega powerful persuasion and psychological strategy that will get people to buy from you. It is the equivalent of kryptonite to Superman, except in this case, Superman is your potential customers or customers who are running away from your persuasion-powered sales and marketing as they get obliterated. I don't think that's the right analogy, but you get it. Okay, so there's a bad analogy, but you get what I'm saying. It's basically super powerful. Now, I actually don't see any sort of, person who's teaching things talk about this. And I don't know if it's because they don't understand it themselves or if it's because they know it's kind of the secret sauce and so they, don't really want to give it out. But if you look into basically any successful company, any successful business, you will see that they use this persuasion principle to the extreme, right? If you look at Elon Musk when he's trying to sell his Teslas, he does this. If you look at Andrew Tate or Iman Gadzhi or any other influencer, they do this constantly. And for people who don't use this, they get destroyed. They don't get any customers, they don't make any money, and they seem to just keep spinning their wheels and going around in circles, right? So this is very powerful stuff. And the longer you don't do this, the more you are just basically leaving money on the table and wasting opportunities. And before I go into the detail of how it works, I actually just want to tell you a story which I think will illustrate it better. So when I was 18 years old, I used to go to the gym incredibly consistently, every single day. In fact, I did not take a single day off the gym. And the reason why I didn't take a day off the gym is because I used to go to bed at night and think about the gym the next day. When I woke up in the morning, I used to wonder what I could get off my plate so I could get to the gym quicker. I used to wonder how what time I could clock off work and if I could go to the gym then. So I would love to sit here and tell you that as an 18-year-old, I was just so smart and had my priorities in order. And I just knew that how important it was to be healthy. I just knew that health was a priority back then. I'd love to tell you that, but really I was a party boy. I didn't really care about any type of health. I cared about when the weekends came, cared about going out and drinking with my friends. And what was my main motivator for going to the gym? Well, I'll tell you what. It was the fact that there was a girl in there who I fancied, who I used to cross paths with occasionally and used to chat to. And she used to go consistently to the gym every single day. And when I would go to the gym, I would hope that I would see her, right? It's a tough life being an 18-year-old boy. And I know what you're thinking. You're sat there thinking to yourself, damn, Rob, you're an 18-year-old simpy boy. And there might be some truth in that. But we did end up dating, so maybe there was a lesson in that somewhere. Now, my point of this whole story is that as an 18-year-old, I was going to the gym consistently. I worked a very busy schedule when I was 18-year-old. I didn't have much money. I would, didn't really care about my health, to be honest with you. I didn't really care too much about my physique. What I did care about, though, was I cared about chatting to this girl and giving myself as much opportunity as possible to do this. Now, you're probably still thinking, what has this got to do with business? This is important, truthfully. Let me paint the picture. Okay, so I cared about this, and I somehow managed to override the pain of everything else, going consistently, being tired, right? Of getting up early in the mornings just so I could, get to the gym. If you look at how human behavior works, why does this work? It's because I was incentivized to. I was being rewarded for basically going to the gym. It was a rewarding experience because I'd go to the gym, I'd end up speaking to this girl, or maybe we'd go out for a coffee or something like this. This girl I was trying to date for a while. And the point of this is all human behavior revolves around moving to reward. All human behavior also revolves around getting away from pain as well. So sometimes the reward is so high that it minimizes the pain. If you look into psychological studies of where people part with money, where they pay for something, you will see that when that happens, it lights the same areas up in the brain when they pay with the money as it does when pain is caused to them. It causes them some sort of pain. So paying for things causes pain. So what's got to happen, if you picture it like a seesaw, the reward of whatever they're getting has to be greater than the pain that they have of losing that money. The reward of me going to the gym was much greater than all of the I had to do to get there, which was, you know, the early mornings, making sure that I was still hitting it 7 days a week, not giving myself a day off, right, which is really bad for like exercise, right? You can't recover because your nervous system gets fried, right? So when you look at that, I did all these actions just because there was potential reward there. Potential reward. It might not have even been real rewards. You might not have been there at that exact time that I went there at the day, but I just wanted to give myself as much opportunity as possible. So let's talk about business terms now. Let me draw it for you exactly how this works in sort of selling and marketing and persuasion. So here is little 18-year-old me, okay? With my no muscles here. I have a little bit of muscles, but not quite enough yet because I'm 18 years old. And I would take the action of going to the gym. What can we use to draw a gym? I think we're going to go for like a little weight here. I'm pretty impressed with myself so far. This is hard to do. This is a weight, okay? So this symbolizes a gym. And I would go to the gym, but the reason I would go to the gym is because I was being rewarded because I would potentially meet the, you know, girl who I fancied at the time. I don't know what is wrong with her haircut here, but this is her, you know, in her gym dress, right? Because all girls wear a gym dress, right? So I would go to the gym because I would expect to see this girl here, right? So what's this called? This is called positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement or reward. We'll just call it reward for this purpose, okay? So I took a difficult action because I was really hoping for the reward at the end, okay? So when it comes to your customers, how can you basically persuade them more? Well, you can increase the reward. If this was, you know, to come and see my friend at the gym, I still probably would have went, right? But I wouldn't have went with as much excitement, and there's a lesson in that. So if you are selling to your customers or, you know, you're selling to someone or trying to market to people and no one's budging, it's usually because you haven't got enough reward in that. It's not rewarding enough, right? So how does this work in a business example? Well, let me give you a clue. This is your customer here, okay? Another person, not quite as good looking as me, smaller arms as well. So this person right here is going to give over money. This is money. We're going to color this some sort of multicolor, but you want them to put it in your wallet, right? But the only way for them to put it in your wallet is if you give them something which is rewarding. So you say, let's say you're selling some sort of coaching or consulting or market or some sort of like agency package, and no one's buying it. So this customer at the moment, they aren't even crossing this first step here. So what you would want to do is you'd want to increase the thing at the end, the thing which they get, even more rewarding. So if you think about it, how can you make something more rewarding? You can give them more, or you can give them a better, you know, quality of whatever they're getting. So let's just say you're originally selling some sort of group coaching package. But they're refusing to pay for it at the moment. They need more reward. And how could you give them more reward? Well, you could think about, well, if they won't buy into this group coaching package just as it is, maybe I could offer them a one-to-one consultation as well. So that's just one-to-one with me, right? That could be one way to do it. Because here's what I will say as well, is when people don't buy, usually amateur business owners, they think, I'm going to reduce the price. And there's no harm in reducing the price at certain, you know, events or, if they're really trying to encourage people. But basically, you don't want to reduce the price of something because it might lower the value. You actually want to increase the value and increase the reward instead. So you're selling a group coaching package, nobody's buying it at the moment. What you are going to do is you say, hey, you know what? I will give you a 1 hour session per month for the next, however long you're in this program, 3 months, whatever. 1 hour session per month, just me and you. Usually I charge for my time $500 or whatever, right? It's increase the reward some more. So they still don't, are not going to budge on that. How else can you make it, more valuable to them? You could say, hey, look, we do this thing with our business. If you buy this right now, I'll also implement it in your business as well. So that could be an additional implementation. Okay, so I'm just talking about right now the raw sort of conversions. But truthfully, reward doesn't just have to come down to selling. It could be getting people to open your email, getting people to respond to you. I seen this email subject line recently, basically was getting around about a 50% open rate. And this email subject line was being sent out to roughly, I can't quite remember, I think it's about 800,000 people. And it gets about roughly a 50% open rate, which is great, but the subject line is just about the service they're receiving. So most people do tend to open it. But they adjusted the subject line and they saw a 12% increase. So rather than 400,000 people opening it, it's more closer to 500 now. It's a lot of people who are going to engage with that service, an extra 100,000, right? Or give or take a little bit. But basically, what they changed the email subject line to was a more rewarding subject line. They piqued the curiosity. They kind of made a little bit of a promise that there might be something, that could be a rewarding experience by opening the email. And all they did was just provide a more rewarding opener. Mr. Beast on YouTube, in case you are still not sold, offers highly entertaining content, but he's incredibly rewarding, right? Because your dopamine gets fired up when you're watching it. Oh my God, he's just, shot off a firework. Oh, now he's just set someone on fire, right? He's threw a person on a barbecue. And you think to yourself, wow, it's crazy. It's got all this stuff going on in this video. And you think, wow, you know what? That's incredibly rewarding. It makes me want to watch more. If you look at Conor McGregor in this UFC, who is going through some serious lawsuits at the moment, right? But if you watch Conor McGregor in the UFC, who's the biggest draw in the whole of the UFC, he has, sold the most pay-per-views at the point when the UFC was, it was popular, but not as popular as he made it. He was an incredibly rewarding fighter to watch. He would draw a crowd out because he's funny, he's entertaining, he's got a star power, he's knocking people out. It's a rewarding experience to watch it. Andrew Tate, when he talks about, the promises of the good life. He's driving his Lamborghini or Bugatti or whatever. He's, explaining how good it is to be a sovereign man, how good it is to be, independent and secure because you've got all your finances sorted. Incredibly rewarding, right? He is saying all these things, these promises, these rewards to the group of people who, the young men who are wanting to listen to him. Incredibly rewarding. All these people, and the list could go on, guys. All these people understand that humans are ultimately motivated by pain and pleasure. They're motivated away from pain, right, towards pleasure. They do this because they understand that deep level of human psychology. Because they understand that deep level of human psychology, they can implement it in everything they do, and basically they end up, profiting massively from it. They end up making a lot of money because they understand truly how reward works and how humans are drawn towards reward. So the key takeaway is make things more rewarding. Just be more rewarding. Just positively reinforce people. Okay, I could go into a whole video of the psychology around it, but to be honest with you, I don't want to bore you to death because you might not like that. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, leave a comment as well. Let me know if you enjoy videos like this, and I will see you in the next video. Take it easy.